Okay, as much as I hate the GoPro Hero, I'm going to use it real quick for this video because I actually found a good deal on another camcorder, and I think it'll fit the bill just a little bit better for what I do. Okay, just a quick update this morning on the SV SV01. Kind of show you a little bit the printer. If you remember, I was on a mission to remove the big, 5-pound electronics bay from underneath of the printer because you couldn't get to the rollers or anything to make adjustments on the printer. I really struggled to get wrenches under there to adjust it, and so I noticed about a week ago I had prints that were all of a sudden that were failing almost on a daily basis, and it just took me a little bit to figure out, why is it doing that? And well, all the hardware underneath had come loose, and anyhow, when you can't see it and you can't get to it, you don't really maintain it like you should. So that was my fault. So what I did was I decided to move the electronics externally. This printer doesn't move. It sits right here in this spot all the time. And I posted a previous video where I had printed these boxes, and I was just going to show you real quick here the insides. So this actually is running. It's on right now, and I have to tie up my wires a little bit more. So you can see here's the power supply. It's mounted to the wall. It's got the safety cover on the bottom. If you were to stick your fingers up inside there, that would be bad, but nobody's allowed down in this room. No cats, no kids, off limits, so that shouldn't be a problem. And if I do worry about it, I'll just unplug it. So here's my little switch box down here. That contains the power receptacle and the off and on switch. Okay, so you want to hear about the problem that I did have? So I should have had this done yesterday. So here's these extension wires for my stepper motors, okay? It's a long ways from like this Z-axis stepper motor right here all the way back over here to the inside of this box. This is the V2.2 board, which has the dual Z connectors inside of it, and it's a Creality board, and seems like everybody uses Creality boards, right? It's not the quiet board. It's noisy when it runs, but it still gets the job done. So at this point, I'll just stick with that board. So everything else I have has the new boards in it. In fact, I should probably steal the new board, the silent board out of my Ender 3 and put in here, but for now I'll just live with it. So anyhow, so what I did was when I put these extension wires on for the stepper motors, I failed to remember that on the original wires for the stepper motors, the wires all run parallel to each other, but on the end where they go, let's see, it's the end where they go into the stepper motors, the center two wires are crossed, and that's how they're supposed to be. Well, I forgot about that, and I forgot to check these wires, and so I had a crazy homing issue where every time I'd try to home it, it would go up to the top instead of going down to the bottom. And it just got too late. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was trying to understand what it was doing, and I was tired. And so anyhow, I figured it out. I figured it out at like 2 a.m. and I'm like, okay, screw it. I'm too tired. I gotta go to bed. So anyhow, so I went to bed. I came back down this morning and I fixed it. And sure enough, that was what the problem was all along. And I had actually switched a couple of other wires around in troubleshooting, and so then it was homing the right direction. It was going down to the bed, but then it wouldn't stop on the bed because the Z limit switch wires were backwards, and I had to switch those back around, and then finally it worked. So So everything's back to normal again on it. I still got to hook up my my remote SD card reader. I'll plug that in. Those just plug in. It's got normal slots on the front of the box, just like it should have. And then I got to level the bed, and then I'll have this printer back up and running today. So I just wanted to take about 5 minutes and update you, and you know, it'll actually look, I think it'll look really nice when I get the wires bundled back up and put back together. It'll just have one big cable that runs around to the back, and that should work. It should be good. So anyhow, okay. Well, thanks for joining me for that, and we will talk to you soon.
Shut up and sit down.